First Look, Sunday on Fox News Channel.
That was easy. Okay, we got our flu shots. You get yours, America.
Head to our website. The After the Show starts in 2, 1.
Hey, thanks, guys. Good morning, everybody. President Trump's job approval rating hitting a record high as the commander-in-chief crisscrosses the country, energizing Republicans on immigration and border security as we look at 15 days now before the midterms. I'm Bill Hemmer. Hope you had a great weekend. Hope you had a great weekend. Nice to see you.
Good morning. Nice to see you, Bill. Good morning, everyone. I'm Sandra Smith. Take a look at these numbers. The president's approval rating up 3% in a month. The numbers coming in as the president heads down to Texas tonight, and we expect a lot of talk on that growing caravan of illegal immigrants heading for the border.
You have some very, very bad people in the caravan. You have some very tough criminal elements within the caravan. But I will seal off the border before they come into this country. And I'll bring out our military, not our reserves. I'll bring out our military.
I'm not going to tolerate any more coming here through caravans, and we need to change our laws to disincentivize this behavior. But Mexico's the key. We need to work with them, and the president is.
We've got fifth-generation ranchers down there on the border right now dealing with the cartel activity, continuing to traffic opioids and other drugs and human trafficking into our communities. This is a public safety and a national security issue.
And I've been very clear to the president, we need to enforce the law, but we should also keep families together.
Team Fox coverage now. Kevin Corke live from the White House. Byron York has analysis. But first, William Lajeunesse live in southern Mexico and what is happening where you are. William, good morning.
Good morning, Bill. Well, we are in the town square of Tapachula, that's just north of the Guatemala border. This is where most of the migrants actually slept last night. We are going to get their marching orders shortly. We believe that the group is going to travel about 25 miles north of here to a town called Huizla. And of course, there is growing criticism of this caravan, but it also exposes a disconnect in U.S. and Mexican policy. For instance, Mexico, of course, said that it was going to stop this caravan, that anyone without proper papers was going to be deported. That clearly is not the case. We saw this caravan cross many lines of riot police, and they said, listen, what are we going to do? We can't gas them indiscriminately. There's too many children. Now then, of course, the U.S., of course, the president saying that he is going to stop this caravan at the border. However, as we both know, because the shelters are full and also because of the certain asylum laws and the Flores decision, many Central American immigrants and families are being released on a daily basis. Now, also, the U.S. is paying for billboards down in Guatemala saying don't come, but of course, they are getting word back from their relatives that people are being let out. They know the risk. And they know that the Border Patrol is there, but they also know that they can't stop everybody.
I don't know if we're gonna apply for asylum. You know, that depends if we can get there first. You know, but my dream is get through the border if we could. If we can't, we're gonna have to cross the river some way somehow.
So this caravan started with about 3,000 people, then it went to 6, and now reports we're getting from the Interior Minister, and this morning it's over 7,000, Bill, of Hondurans, Guatemalans, and some Mexicans. Bill?
It is a long way to the U.S. from where they are. Does this caravan plan on making it hundreds of miles to Mexico, William?
Well, what we believe is going to occur and what they say is going to likely happen is there are some buses that they're going to try to get on their way up to, we believe now, Tijuana, which is what we were told today, not the Rio Grande Valley. Also, of course, there's the train. Some will take the train. They are fearful, however, that Mexico will try to divide them and deport them individually. That's why they want to stay together as much as they can as a caravan. Now, as you saw yesterday, a lot of the Mexican public is helping them out with food, with water, with transportation. That's helping them a great deal. It also shows a divide in public opinion here, and it is why the Peña Nieto administration cannot crack down on them. Then you also consider U.S. public opinion. Remember, President Trump tried the separation policy, women and children, wasn't able to do that. So right now we're being told that about 1,000 people have applied for asylum here in Mexico, but about 80% of the people here are men under age 35. They're going to have to try to cross illegally, which of course is why the president says he might call up the military. Now, the big test is going to come bill on this asylum law, this new deal that John Roberts reported on last week about Mexico. Number one, being able to deport them to Mexico, not to their home country. And secondly, if you don't apply for asylum first in Mexico, you can't get into the United States, women and children. That will be the big test. Back to you.
It's a campaign issue, too. Thank you, William Lajeunesse, live there in southern Mexico. Sandra.
President Trump hitting the campaign trail again today as former President Obama and former Vice President Joe Biden get on the road to stump for Democrats. The president has been seizing on the immigration issue to energize crowds. Kevin Corke is live at the White House with more on what to expect. Kevin, how much will the president focus on this caravan as he looks to turn out the vote for the midterms?
Well, listen, Sandra, this is obviously a very, very serious issue, but I think politically speaking, it's also fair to say that this is a gift for the president and for Republicans, because broadly speaking, this means this will turn out the base, and turning out the base means votes. Let me take you to Twitter. The president talking a great deal about the caravan making its way through our neighbors to the south. He says this: sadly, it looks like Mexico's police and military are unable to stop the caravan heading to the southern border of the United States. Criminals and unknown Middle Easterners are mixed in. I've alerted Border Patrol and military that this is a national emergency. Must change laws. This idea that 7,000 people might be marching toward our border is a non-starter for most Trump voters, and quite frankly, many who would normally back the president's policies. That will be a topic of discussion. In fact, I would suspect a major part of the rallies that we're going to see the president roll out all week long. We're talking about trips to Texas, to Wisconsin, to North Carolina, and then to Illinois. Again, this will all be part and parcel to drumming up the base as they get ready for the midterms. Of course, he wrapped up that rally in Nevada over the weekend, imploring voters there to not only vote, but vote early and to reject the Democrats who he says are responsible for this caravan. Former President Barack Obama also weighing in. You pointed out he's out there on the trail along with Joe Biden, trying to drum up support for Democrats in the midterms. In fact, he said this on Twitter: the last presidential election turned on fewer than 100,000 votes in 3 states. More people go to Coachella. There's no good excuse not to vote. Head over to vote.org, check your registration, get your absentee ballot, find out where to vote November 6th. So you get the sense, Sandra, that this is a very, very consequential midterm election, but maybe we've never seen one where presidents, former vice presidents are all out there. It's going to make for a very interesting 15 days.
To say the least. Kevin, what's the latest on the White